In the last stream, we were working on kind of overhauling our resource generation system. The idea being that we wanted to finally be able to automatically produce the 3 tiers of transformational powder that we currently have access to without getting backlogged using the current crafting automat. And so we replaced the crafting automat with these structured crafters, allowing us to do these in-world crafts using storage drawers. Now, between streams, what I've gone ahead and done is try to organize the base a little bit more. I have moved these resource generators and fired crucibles over into the corner along with the compression dynamo. This isn't the final resting place for these. These will probably be gone before the end of today's stream, but as per usual, we do need a little bit of a supply of lava to keep our machines online and to keep everything going. And so until we get a better source of lava production up and running, which is what hopefully we'll be working on in today's stream, this is going to stay here. Other than that, I've also gone ahead and moved a few other things just to kind of tidy things up a little bit. The tree farm has been moved over here, and I've actually connected the tree farm drawer up to our drawer controller so that now we can actually access all of the wood and all of the sticks that we're generating from within our wireless crafting remote. And to make that happen, I've also moved the mob drop chest round to the back here. The system is exactly the same. All of the stuff we want goes up into the drawer slave. All the stuff we don't want goes over into the trash can. So the plan for today, chat, at least initially, is going to be to get lava production up and running, because right now the only thing we don't have is lava. We need to fill 9 barrels of lava kind of continuously if we want to be able to produce all of the organic matter for all of the different tiers of transformational powder. And to do that, we need a lot of fired crucibles. Now, I mentioned before, I don't really want to just have an array of fired crucibles out in the open. I don't think this is particularly appealing to look at, especially if we have to put, 30, 40, 50 of them down. It's not going to look great, but that is where the next mod on our journey here comes into play, and that is the compact machine mod. This is going to allow us to place all of the lava generation blocks into one compact machine, which is this little pocket dimension that is hidden away. It's one block in the world, but then you go into it and it's this larger room within that one block that you can then configure to your liking. And in the newest version of compact machines, the tunnels do in fact work. They were a little buggy in previous versions, but you can now pump fluids, items, and energy into and out of compact machines, which means we should, in theory, be able to put a ton of these fired crucibles, resource generators, and blocks of coal in a compact machine, produce a ton of lava, and then send all of that lava out of that compact machine. And so from an overworld perspective, we will just have one block on the floor that we can pump as much lava as we like out of. Now, in order to unlock this rose gold ingot questline, and to start with compact machines, we do first have to get some skulking organic matter and kind of work our way through this questline here. It's not strictly necessary because we do already have gold from all of the armor that we've been breaking down in our induction smelter, but if we want to actually unlock the questline and get, the quests ticked off, we have to first complete this quest right here. So what I think I'm going to do is quickly craft a tank from Mekanism. This recipe was changed recently in the newest version of the pack, and so now thankfully it's significantly easier to make, and this holds 32 buckets of any given liquid. My thought process here is that if we can put that down right about there, what I might also do, again, just kind of temporarily, is maybe put down the final 2 resource generators that we have just to give us that little bit of extra lava production. What that's going to allow us to do is hopefully generate enough lava to where we can pick this tank up, and again, thankfully, this tank does retain its inventory when you pick it up, and then we can place that tank of lava down over here. I've gone ahead and moved the 3 blocks of bronze that were previously under these barrels, under to these barrels. That's going to allow us to turn lava into organic fluid, and then organic fluid into skulking organic fluid, which we can then transform using the skulking transformation powder into the skulking organic matter, which we can then sift to hopefully get some gold pieces, silver pieces, and then finally unlock the gold and silver ingot quest, unlocking the compact machines and allowing us to go one step further. Now, I was originally planning to complete the chapter challenge for questline to claim these 3 compact machines as rewards. However, as we mentioned at the end of the last stream, it's going to be a little bit of a pain to make this happen, simply due to the fact that we don't have the 3 ancient skulk, and we also don't have that much skulking organic matter, or really the ability to make that much silver without first setting up the lava system. And so what I think we're going to do is come back to this. We will, of course, complete this quest line before we finish the pack, but instead, I think we'll just go ahead and make an actual compact machine using the field projectors that allow you to do so. And I was taking a look at the different tiers of compact machine, because the basic one is a tiny compact machine, which is only a 3x3x3 room in size, which is obviously nowhere near big enough to house the kind of massive lava production system that we want. And as you go up here, they get more and more expensive. So the tiny machine requires 26 compact machine wool, along with a block of copper. The recipe kind of remains the same. The only thing that really changes is the block that is also required. So it's copper, then iron, then gold, then obsidian, then diamond, then netherite. Diamond and netherite we don't have, but obsidian should be fairly easy for us to do. If we, real quick, just kind of finish up what we were working on over here, if we grab our 2 resource generators and 2 cobblestone, we can do something like this, place in the cobblestone, and make sure that is pumping down and around into the crucibles. And then from there, if we just hook that up to the same pipeline that's feeding the tank that's already down, we can leave this running for a little while, and we should come back to hopefully 32 buckets of lava fairly soon. While we wait for that, let's go ahead and see about actually making some obsidian. So the way that we can make obsidian using Ex Nihilo is we can take a stone barrel, which we should be able to make. We've got a ton of stone lying around in the system. And if we place this down on the ground, we can then place lava into that barrel, which again, we'll go ahead and steal temporarily from the tank over there, like so. And then if you place water above this barrel, it should transform the lava in the barrel into obsidian. Now, you can, if you want, kind of do it very quickly, like that, and it will transform. You want to put the water down and pick it up before it has a chance to spread. Alternatively, you could go ahead and put a few blocks down. For example, if we did something like this, where we had a few blocks around the barrel, like this, we could then go ahead and just take the water, place that down like so, and then we could take the lava from our tank, place that into the barrel, and that will instantly transform from lava into obsidian. So it's actually very easy for us to get a large amount of obsidian, and super easy, in fact, to get the 1 obsidian required in order to make a pretty large compact machine. I believe the obsidian compact machine is a 9x9x9 in size, which should be more than enough space. This construction here, or this setup here, is only 4 blocks tall, and that means in theory we could set like kind of 2 of these on top of each other if we wanted to have a ton of fired crucibles stacked like that. And speaking of fired crucibles, we probably are going to want to get quite a few of those if we're going to have a lot of lava being generated. And in order to make that happen, we need a lot of clay, which is not particularly hard to do, but it is a little bit tedious getting the water into the barrel over and over and over again, and then right-clicking with the dust to get the clay. However, it doesn't have to be that tedious because we do have the sink in the mod pack from Cooking for Blockheads. This is what I would consider a fairly overpowered block that provides an unlimited amount of water to your world. Basically, you can just pipe infinite water out of this block. It acts in and of itself as an infinite water source. The only thing we're missing here to actually make it is 1 more block of terracotta, which is not going to be a problem for us. Let's get that done real quick. While we wait for that, let's grab a bucket of water as well, which is going to get used up here, but that is fine. We do have more iron. We could always make more buckets should we need them. And as soon as we have this terracotta, boom, and boom, and you'll see at the top there that this has 2.1 million buckets of water inside of it. And that's not a finite amount. If you take water out, it still has 2.14 million buckets inside of it. So you do, in fact, never run out of water, which is very nice indeed, and does mean that what we can do here is we can go ahead and grab a fluid pipe, place that down between the barrel and the sink, set that to extract. That's going to keep this filled with water forever. And then if we were to go ahead and grab a hopper, actually, I'm going to go ahead and use an item pipe here because I think we can make the system incredibly fast. The hopper can be a little slow, especially the wooden hopper, and given that the pipe upgrades are so easy for us to make, let me grab 3 of these. We do have a ton of flint now, by the way, over 2,000 in the system, because that is coming back in thanks to the systems that we set up in the last episode. But if we get 3 netherite upgrades, we can put 1 in over here to ensure that the water is kind of instantly transferred from the sink into the barrel. we could then place some kind of chest or other storage receptacle above the barrel like so. And then I guess we also probably want one final chest as well down right about here. With that, we can set this to extract, place in our ultimate pipe upgrades here and here. And now, if we were to go ahead and put, let's say, 31 dust into this top chest, it should very quickly get transformed into 31 blocks of clear. Look at that. It's so fast. Now, earlier, somebody in the Twitch chat actually pointed out that this could be a very powerful way of producing cobblestone. Right now, we're making cobblestone using the resource generator, which does work, but is pretty slow. Now, our lava tank here is done. I am going to quickly move that over because we do want to get this system on the road. Let's do this, and then let's do this. We'll set this to extract. That should start filling those up with lava. That will transform into the fluid that we're after. Again, I am going to get another pipe upgrade here. And boom. Now, the final step is just to grab some item pipes and run the final product, which we're going to get from here, round it over into the clicker. And eventually, we're going to want to do this for everything. So I think what we'll do is we'll just run the pipe all the way along the front. We'll set all of these to extract. And then we'll probably go down the center for symmetry. It's also going to require the fewest item pipes as well. We'll go down, around, and into that clicker. And once that is connected, we should be basically good to go. We need to set all of these to extract. And then we should start to see the organic fluid get transformed into skulking fluid. As soon as that transformation is complete, we will see the skulking powder get extracted out and placed into the barrel, and then that will be extracted and sifted, and we should hopefully start to see some gold and some silver in this chest. Now, again, while we wait for that to happen, back over here, somebody in the Twitch chat mentioned that we could potentially use this for cobblestone generation, because much like how we made obsidian mere moments ago, if we get rid of this chest, instead of putting water on top and lava in the barrel, if we put lava on top and water in the barrel, instead of producing obsidian, it's going to produce cobblestone. And given that we have a way of transferring infinite water into the barrel extremely quickly with the ultimate pipe upgrade, and then we have a way of extracting the cobble extremely quickly with the other ultimate pipe upgrade, it might be possible to generate much more lava than the resource generators with just a small system like this. And if it's possible, we could also potentially use this sink more than once. We could have a whole line of barrels with a whole line of lava on top of them, and then keep extracting from that one sink to feed all of those barrels to produce a large amount of cobblestone. I have not tried it, but it sounds like it should work very quickly. So let's give this a go real quick here. If we put this down like so, it is very fast. Like way faster than the resource generators over here. If we look at this, it produces cobblestone. There's one cobblestone, and it is very, very, very slow. Even with the upgraded cobblestone resource generator here, this one is also surprisingly slow. Again, we could upgrade this by putting like a block of gold on top of it, but comparatively, this is so much faster. And we probably wouldn't even need more than one barrel here. I think just one barrel could feed a large number of these crucibles and keep them full up with cobblestone for quite a long time. So we'll probably recreate this setup inside of our compact machines and then use that as our primary source of cobblestone generation for all of our lava generation. Back over here, we have ender pearl fragments, we have echo shards, gold pieces, and silver pieces. Of course, the thing that I have failed to consider here is that we actually need to hold one of the skulking organic matter. So let me turn off right-clicking there, and let me quickly see if we can't make another batch of the powder, because we actually need to physically hold some of that powder to complete the quest. So if I do this, 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 and this, hopefully there will be some blocks in here that I can just take. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Now we can put that back. We can replace down our sieve. Make sure that's set to right-click again. Do something like that. And yeah, look at that. We completed a good number of those quests. So now we can do this to get the raw gold, this to get the raw silver, and then if we just go ahead and I assume maybe this to get the ender pearls. Nope, that is not how you get ender pearls, but we do have ender pearls already, so we can just grab one of those, and that is that quest complete. And then, as per usual, if we put those in the induction smelter, we can process the raw gold and raw silver into gold ingots and silver ingots. It looks like there might be a slight bug here. The thermal expansion silver that we got from smelting our raw silver in the induction smelter doesn't count for completing the quest there. Not that that's a huge problem for us, because the only quest that we actually needed to complete, oh my goodness, we got so many quest rewards there, but the only quest that we actually needed to complete was the one for gold. Now that we've completed that, if we quickly clear out our inventory just a little bit here, we should be able to begin with the compact quest line. We can. And the first quest here is the rose gold quest. This just wants us to make rose gold in the induction smelter by combining gold and silver ingots. Between streams, I did even more processing of gold armor. We are still getting gold armor in here, but I took all the gold armor out and processed it into gold ingots, and so we now have 171 gold ingots in our system. We are running a little low on copper, though, which is less than ideal. It might not be a terrible idea for us to take this tank, fill it back up with lava, and then maybe see about getting this area of the resource production system back online. Like if we can start making some more poor transformational powder into poor organic matter and then sifting that into more copper, that might be useful. But it's also possible that we might be able to do this with a fairly small amount of rose gold, because we need to make compact machine wall, and it does take 4 rose gold per craft, but you do get 8 compact machine wall here, so this might be doable. Let's have a look. So compact machine wall. It is 4 rose gold and 4 stone. Very easily done. From there, we need to make a base and a miniaturization projector dish. These two parts combine together to make the field projector. And I believe we need 4 field projectors to create a miniaturization projection field in which we can build our compact machine. So this is new to, I believe, the 1.19 version of compact machines. You used to just craft the field projectors themselves, but now they have like sub parts that you need to craft first. The base is fairly easy. 4 compact machine wall makes 1 base. And then the dish is also pretty easy, and thankfully you do get 4 of these at a time. We are going to need yet more compact machine wall, but boom. And I assume something like this, boom, gets us the field projector. So now all we need to do is claim our rewards, and we do get an extra 2 bases there, which is why I'm quite optimistic that we should be able to do this with a fairly small amount of copper, because that gets us 3 of the 4 field projectors. We just need 1 more like so, and that's all 4 of the field projectors. Done. Real quick, let's go and move this tank of lava over to here, just in case we do end up running out of copper. We can do something like this. Again, set that to extract, maybe put in a pipe upgrade, and that's going to produce a lot of that matter for us, and hopefully going to get us some more copper pieces fairly quickly. But now, it's just a case of actually setting up the miniaturization projection field so that we can actually produce compact machines. Now, there is a quest here that says, build a small compact crafting area, how to build. Click to show structure. Oh, interesting, okay. So this just kind of shows you where, like how you could build it by right-click. So I believe you put the field projectors down around the outsides where the stone is, and then you can build in the middle there. That's not too bad, actually. And I think what I'll do real quick, as per usual, is maybe just extend the platform out a little further this way to make room for the field projector, because I don't really want to have it just kind of slapped down in front of our storage drawer system. Another benefit of having the sink that we have now, and also I don't know if I can get rid of this like visualization. Can I click again to get rid of it? I can. Nice. Okay, cool. And I don't know if that completes the quest, or I don't know if this quest is completable. I assume it is, because there's a quest, like a reward there. But either way, now that we have the sink over here, what we can also do is, if I quickly grab a bucket to get rid of this lava, we can use the same sink system to produce a large amount of driftwood. If we, once again, place down our pipe, place down our chest, and then, of course, set that to extract with the super fast pipe upgrade, like so, we can then grab our regular logs out of the system, a stack of them, drop them in like so, and very quickly, those are going to get transformed into driftwood logs. Nice, which we can, of course, then craft down into planks and use to make our island that much bigger. So I've made the platform a fair bit bigger here. Let's see if I can get this quest complete. If I right-click this down, it's going to be awkward because I don't know if that's like the center of the island. That looks pretty central, actually. Okay, so if I do, I think what I need to do, like, I need they want to go a bit further up. I don't think I can have them so low in the ground. That's fine, I think. We want to have these facing inwards, like this. I think we want one here. We want one here. We want one here, and we want one here. Now, this one... Okay, so they're all facing the wrong way. And there we go. We managed to get them all facing towards us. Twitch chat told me that if you shift right-click, then the field projector will face towards you when you place it. So when you're putting these down, just shift and then right-click, and it should face the correct way, like the way that you are currently standing. So then we can get rid of these. I'm going to go ahead and just undo this for now. We're not going to get that quest completion just yet. We might end up trying to get that in the future, but you'll know you've done this right when the orange box in the middle becomes visible. And so now what we should be able to do is begin placing the compact machine wall and obsidian into that field projector to actually begin creating a compact machine. So to make that happen, if we go back over here, we need 26 compact machine wall and 1 obsidian. Now, how many more can we make? We can make 1 more set. That's fine. Over in here, we do have some more copper now, which is very nice indeed. So should we need it, we can always go ahead and smelt more of that down to get even more rose gold. Although I think that 4 more here, and we're going to get 8 rose gold because you get 2 rose gold per copper. So 1 copper and 1 gold equals 2 rose gold. But if we go ahead and take all of those, I think that should be more than enough to get us up past the required 26. And by more than enough, I mean bang on exactly enough to get us up to 26. And if I am not mistaken, the way that this is structured is basically a 3x3 cube of compact machine wall with whichever block is next to it in the center. So in our case, we want to have a 3x3 of compact machine wall like this, and we're going to have the obsidian in the center like that. We can then fill in the rest like so. And in order to actually begin the craft, to initiate the craft, we have to throw a rose gold ingot at the projection field. And of course, we used our last rose gold ingot mere moments ago. So we are in fact going to have to process this copper after all. All right, so if we take our rose gold ingot, we can then go ahead and just drop it onto, basically you throw it at the cube. So if we just press Q, it's going to throw it at the miniaturization projection field. Now, I think, again, this is kind of still a work in progress. There used to be a cool animation that happened here that showed it working. I think it is, there we go, it is still working, but after a few seconds, you will get a compact machine. Nice. So now we can go ahead and place this down really wherever we like. And in order to get inside of it, we need to craft a personal shrinking device. This is made with a tiny compact machine and 4 compact machine walls. And so real quick, let's go make some more rose gold and see if we can't get another compact machine going, because we are going to need 26 more compact machine wall to make the tiny compact machine, and then an additional 4 compact machine wall in order to make the personal shrinking device itself. Okay, right. We managed to complete this build a small compact crafting area quest. You have to click it, then right-click an area on the ground where you want to build it. And then you have to build this contraption here out of stone. I think the intention is that you can then just put your field projectors on top of these stone pillars. None of the stone is required, but you have to put the stone down like this to complete the quest, and you have to make sure that nothing else is in the area where you're building it. So I had to get rid of torches, I had to move the bed, anything inside of the area that the structure is going to be, the structure that this is putting down, is projecting. Anything in there, get rid of it, put the stone down, then click on the quest again, and it will complete the quest. Anyway, now that that is done, let us see if we can't get this tiny compact machine. So, we do have more rose gold ingots. Can we get 26 of them? The answer, I think, is definitely yes. And by definitely yes, I mean almost certainly no. Even with 1 more, that's only going to get us 24. So we do actually need a fair bit more copper, which we don't have, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, we're basically completely out of copper in the system there. So we're definitely going to have to just get more lava and get more of this poor transformational powder made. All right, so a lot more copper production later, because we not only needed to make more rose gold to make the compact machine wall, but we also needed a whole block of copper to go in the center of the compact machine. But now that we have it, let's do something like this. We'll then put the block of copper in the center, just like we did with the obsidian, fill in the rest of this, and then I'm assuming that the catalyst is still the same. I assume we just throw 1 rose gold at the structure. We totally do. That is going to transform slowly but surely into a tiny compact machine. And once we have that, we can then take our remaining compact machine wall and craft up the personal shrinking device, at which point we should be able to finally enter this compact machine. So boom, Boom. And now if we right-click this over here, we can enter our own little pocket dimension. Nice. So now that we have this, the idea here is that we can bring all of our lava production over into this little compact machine. And if we make a fluid tunnel, I guess there are two ways you could do this. The recipe for the ender tank has been made cheaper, this one here. So we could make all of the lava inside of the compact machine and then just use ender tanks to transfer it out. Alternatively, the method that I think we're going to use is the fluid tunnel. The fluid tunnel here, fairly easy to make. It is 4 fluid pipe and 1 compact machine wall. That should be easy to do. Again, we can access our simple storage network no matter what dimension we're in, which is fantastic. And so fluid tunnel. We just need some more fluid pipes and boom. And now what we can do is you can place this down on a wall in here. So let's say that we want to have all of our lava production over here, and then we want to have fluid pipes that go over into the corner here. This is right-clickable, and you right-click it to configure where you want the fluid to go out on the other side, if that makes sense. So I think if we set it to up, like it used to tell you at the top what side this was on. I think that it's either north or up. I think it might be north, but we can check real quick. If we go out here and if we grab more fluid pipes, you'll know the right side because it will actually connect to the compact machine. So if you put a pipe down just randomly, it's not going to connect, but this way here is north, and so if we put the pipe here, it actually connects to the machine. And so now inside of the compact machine, any fluid that we pump into that fluid tunnel will just go straight through into this pipe here, and then of course we can use that over here to produce all of our fluids. Somebody in the Twitch chat asked if things inside of the compact machine are deleted when moved. I don't believe that is the case, at least in older versions it wasn't. Let me quickly check here. If we were to place down some cobblestone like this, and then we were to leave, we should then be able to pick the entire compact machine up by just breaking it with a pickaxe. It does say in the top right there that it needs an iron pickaxe, and so it's quite possible that if I were to break it with a stone pickaxe, it would actually just be deleted, but we can go ahead and grab an iron pickaxe real quick here, break our compact machine, and the accompanying fluid pipes, and then if we take this over here, which is where we're going to want it to actually rest, let's say we put it down, I guess, probably right about here will be fine, and we re-enter, it should still have everything that it had before. It does, including the tunnels. Nice. So, let's go ahead and see about crafting a large number of crucibles, which should be very easy to do now. We've got a ton of clay, and of course we can make so much more clay by just processing dust through that chest there at a very high rate. And we should have a ton of dust. We do as well, because we're producing that automatically now. And so in terms of getting the fired crucibles, really, the hardest bit here is just going to be actually firing the crucibles, because making stacks of porcelain clay is not a problem for us whatsoever. And then the second thing that could potentially be a problem for us is just how much coal we have. I'm fairly certain we've got a decent supply of coal over in here, but we probably don't have, 46 blocks worth of coal. So 46 crucibles might be a little bit excessive, but let's get these other two furnaces down again. Let's start smelting some of these fired crucibles up. So let's see here. We've got 34 fired crucibles and 35 blocks of coal. I'm thinking about how I want this to work. Ideally, we do still want to be able to kind of walk around in here. So what I might do initially is just kind of set up a few rows like this. We also need to be able to insert and extract from the crucible, so they need to be accessible from more than one side. So I think I am going to have to put a gap like this between the rows of crucibles. But if we just do something like this, we can then take our fired crucibles, place those down on top of the cobblestone, like so, and then using an array of item and fluid pipes, we should be able to insert cobblestone into the top of all of these crucibles, and then extract using fluid pipes around and into here. So let's get down the sink, like so. Let's get down our stone barrel. We want to make sure that is at least 1 block away. We'll put that like here. Then we do want to get another bucket of lava, which we should be able to do. Also, real quick, one mod that we've not used thus far in the playthrough, but one mod that I do like quite a bit, is this one right here. It's the sound muffling mod. And if you click this button next to your player icon, it shows all the sounds in the game. Personally, I am not a huge fan of the portal travel Minecraft sound. That's this sound right here. It's always so loud. You can click muffle sound, and that will just completely mute it. But then it also shows this little volume slider here. So if you set it to 0, you just won't hear the sound. So now if we go into our compact machine again, it's completely silent. One thing I do want to point out, you do want to make sure that if you start building in here, by default you spawn in the middle. I have placed a block in the middle, so we did get trapped in it. You can shift right click using the personal shrinking device to reset your spawn point. So now when we enter, we will be here, we won't be stuck inside of a block. But again, if we leave, complete silence. Alternatively, if you want, you can go and type in portal again, and you can set the volume to like maybe 10, at which point you'll still hear the sound, but it'll be substantially quieter than it was previously, which I much prefer. And I might even go so far as to do the same for Enderman. Like there were so many Endermen in the last episode, the sounds were a pain in the backside. And I might also, yeah, bring the duck sounds down a little bit. You can see I've already been tinkering a little bit between streams on bringing the ducks down a bit because they quack so much and we've got so many of them around the base now. But anyway, so we'll put some cobblestone down like here and here. We'll place the lava on top like so, not like that. We want the lava to be like this, not actually in the barrel. Then we want to extract from the sink round into that barrel. And then, of course, we want to extract using our item pipe from the barrel there and up into the crucible. So I think we're definitely going to need more item pipes. Do we have what it takes to make a ton more item pipes? We should do, because they are, yeah, incredibly easy to make. You'll have to see it. And I think what we'll do, we'll also get some more fluid pipes while we're at it as well, because we're definitely going to need more of those also, is we'll use the fluid pipes, I think, to extract from the top, and then we'll use the item pipes to insert from the sides. That way we can do something like this, and then just kind of bring this around and up like this, and connect to all of the different crucibles that are in here, like so. We can then set this over here to extract. If we can reach around into there, I think we should be able to. It's right there, extract, and then we do want to make sure that we get our ultimate pipe upgrade on that as well. There we go, transferring 64 items per tick. And it might not matter, but just to be safe, we'll also set that to round robin. So it's going to evenly distribute all of that amongst all of the different crucibles. And then from there, all we need to do is take the fluid pipe and set that to extract on all of these, pumping all of the lava down and around into the fluid tunnel. Now, we could put pipe upgrades on these. I don't know strictly how necessary it's going to be. I do think that what would be quite useful is potentially just making an ender tank or two. How expensive are the ender tanks? We saw earlier they're not too expensive. If we're going to make 2 of them, though, we would need 8 silver, and I think right now we don't have 8 silver. We don't. We've got 4. We could get up to 8 if we get very lucky and get 2 silver per smelt here. That's good. That's less good. So we're 1 silver shy. Do we have a tiny little bit more silver in here? We do. Fantastic. Okay, so never mind. What we'll do is we'll make 2 ender tanks. The reason I'm doing that is not to get the lava out for the resource generation. Obviously, that is going to be done via the tunnel, but I think it's going to be quite useful for us to just have a tank of lava sitting around like here, for example, so that if we ever need a bucket of lava, instead of having to go into the compact machine to grab some, we can just grab it using a bucket from our ender tank and use it for whatever it is that we want. And also, of course, we do have to remember that we are using lava for our compression dynamo as well, so we do need lava going to that also, which we could connect up to the ender tank. So let us grab that silver. Let's go ahead and craft up 2 ender tanks. 1, and as soon as we get 1 more bucket, 2. For now, we can leave these at their default frequency. For those who don't know, these work exactly the same as ender chests, but you can use them to move fluids instead of regular chests. And you can use the little dots on top here to change the frequency. So if you right click these with dies, they will change the frequency that the ender chest works at, or that the ender tank works at, and that allows you to have multiple different ender tanks all moving and transferring different fluids in your base. For now, we'll leave them both as white, 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 and we'll tear down this setup over here. We can then place our ender tank down, let's say right about here, and we'll have a fluid pipe just moving that lava over and into the dynamo. Nice. So now, if we go back through into our compact machine, we should be able to go. I was saying that we could potentially like upgrade all of these pipes. We could put pipe upgrades on all of them, but I don't think that any of these are really producing that much lava to where it's going to be worth investing in pipe upgrades for all of these. I think, to be honest, just having the standard extraction of 50 millibuckets per tick, that is 1 bucket per second, is going to be fine. But either way, if we do need to upgrade, then we can always do so. For now, though, let's do this, like so, and let's get that connected up to this. Nice. We currently have this set to facing north, but I don't think that's what we want because we have moved it to face this way. So we want it going to the east. In this scenario, the east is this way. I'm looking at the minimap in the top right there. You can see our little kind of cursor is pointing that way. So east is this side right here. And now that should be good to go. If we head out, we can now extract directly from here around and into the different barrels that need lava. So let's do an extraction. Oh, that didn't connect there. So this is being a bit buggy. If you shift right click with an empty hand, that removes the tunnel. I'm then going to replace the tunnel, set it to east, and then let's leave and see if that actually works. Let's try disconnecting and reconnecting that. Now it connects. Okay, so sometimes it looks like, I don't know if that's because I broke it and put it back down, but maybe if you do, you might have to replace your tunnels. Either way, we can set that to extract, and I will set this to extract faster, just because this does have, the actual tunnel itself can hold like 4 buckets of lava at one time, and we will make sure that that's set to round robin, although I think it is by default. Yeah, it is. Fantastic. And so this looks pretty good to go. Now, the only problem now is that the area inside of the compact machine isn't chunk loaded, and so it's not actually working when we're not inside of the machine. The way that you rectify that is via the use of FTB chunks. So if you press E, you can click on FTB chunks in the top left, click on claimed chunks in the top left again. You can use this in the overworld to claim your base if you're playing on a server. Any claimed chunks like this are yours, and nobody else will be able to break blocks or access inventories or anything like that inside of claimed chunks. But for us, obviously this dimension only has the 1 chunk. We can shift left click, and that's going to set the chunk to forced loaded. You'll see in the bottom left, you can claim up to 500 chunks, and then you can force load up to 125. That's going to allow this chunk to stay chunk loaded even when we're not in it. So now if we go back, we can, of course, go ahead and claim our chunks here, which are already done. Like this area here is all claimed, is all mine. None of it's chunk loaded currently, but we could do if we wanted to. But now we should see all of these barrels here filling up with lava, and as soon as they are done and they transform, of course, this shouldn't be lava. I'm not quite sure why there's lava in these 3 barrels here. Let me get rid of those and replace them. And yeah, this should now be working just fine. We should see the organic matter getting sent around, getting sifted, and then we'll see everything getting deposited into this chest here. We could definitely do with the remaining iron meshes. How much iron do we have currently? We have got 34 iron, and if we want to make the remaining 5 meshes here, we would need, I think, just 30 iron. And so real quick, I think we should be able to upgrade the flint meshes, which are in the system, to iron meshes, and then drop those down. It's quite possible that the system we have here might not work because we're making the poor organic matter too fast. Yeah, we've got so much of it. And so I think we're most likely going to have to set up 3 of these sifters, 1 for the poor organic matter, 1 for the improved organic matter, and 1 for the skulking organic matter. And then, of course, for the skulking organic matter, there's the extra step of taking the shards, that being these shards right here, crafting those down into nuggets and having those nuggets sent back around into these drawers. Before we do that, though, we do, of course, actually need to get this ender tank down. So let's put the ender tank down. You know what? I'm going to do it like here. We'll use it as a buffer as well between the crucibles and the wall. So that's going to fill up with lava instantly. It can only hold 16 buckets, but that should be fine for us. And then now if we go back to the overworld, we should see that the other ender tank that we put down is full of lava. It is. It's a little buggy. You can see at the top there, it does have lava in it, even though it doesn't look like it has lava in it. And here we can see that this is filling up with lava and is going to keep everything running smoothly. Chat does also make a good point that we should put a pipe upgrade on here because that's going to allow us to pull out faster from this ender tank. And that's also going to mean that the pipe upgrade on the other side that we have as well is actually going to do something. So there are 2 options we can do here. We can either set up 2 more of these kind of 3x3 sieves like we have here, but the Twitch chat's also mentioning that we do have the ability to make FLUX SIEVes from the Ex Machina mod, much like the FLUX hammers. The FLUX sieve is an auto sieve that we can use to automatically sift for us, And again, much like with the Flux Hammer, we could look at getting some of the speed upgrades, the gold speed upgrades, at least for now, to potentially make this a little bit faster. The only trouble with it is it requires so much iron, and we'd need 2 of these, which is 4 blocks of iron and 5 iron bars. And as of right now, we have like 0 iron left because we just spent it all on getting these sieves in here. But it's probably worth doing. What I might do temporarily is I might just go ahead and disconnect this here. It also doesn't help that currently we're actually not making iron. It's like the only thing that we're not making. I'm going to take this matter out, and I'm going to move the bronze blocks back to where they were initially, because the reason we're not making any iron currently is because these bronze blocks are under here, which is not where we want them. We want those to be under these barrels in the middle. Having them in the middle is going to allow us to produce aluminum, nickel, and iron. And if we can get some more iron, we can then produce those auto sieves, which I think are going to be worth it, simply due to the fact that they save on the number of sieves we then have to, the number of meshes we then have to make, right? Because even though it's going to require 4 blocks of iron and extra iron bars to make those 2 auto sieves, it also means that we only have to make 2 more iron meshes, or we could even steal 2 iron meshes from here, or potentially make 3 auto sieves and just have 3 iron meshes, as opposed to having to make 18 more iron meshes for 2 more 3x3 sieves. And I have a feeling as well that in the long run, especially once we unlock the higher tier netherite upgrades for the sieves, that having the sieves, the flux sieves around is going to be much faster than using the auto clicker. Someone in chat does make a good point. I was wondering earlier why there was lava in these 3 buckets. The reason why is that we have no filtration setup on these fluid pipes. And so as soon as lava goes in here, it can get just instantly pulled out into these barrels, which is of course not what we want. I do believe that is rectifiable. Do we have a bucket in the system? We don't. We used our bucket earlier. That's fine. If we grab a bucket of improved organic fluid, what we can then do is we can then make some more of the pipe upgrades. Again, you need at least a diamond pipe upgrade in order to be able to whitelist. So let's get 2 of those, and then let's upgrade those to improved, and then to advanced, and then we might as well just go to ultimate. And of course, I do actually need 3 of these, not 2 of these. So let's just grab this one. I didn't realize we had so many of those in the system. But if we improve all of these, we should then be able to click add, put the bucket in, and then click submit. And so now this should only extract the improved organic fluid. It should no longer extract the lava or anything else that's not pure organic fluid. We don't need that, of course, for any of these other ones because there's no fluid transfer here. But with this one, that is required. All right, so we've got a stack of iron. Thankfully, the iron is coming in pretty quickly now, as are all of the other resources, thanks to the automation of the lava here. So, do we have what it takes to make 2 of these flux sieves? I think the answer is definitely yes. We need 4 blocks of iron, we need 1 set of iron bars, and we need 2 regular old Minecraft hoppers. Boom. And boom, we got 2 flux sieves. So if we were to put these, let's say here and here, these are going to require a mesh. So let's steal 2 of the meshes that we have here. Again, if we're dividing this up, that's going to be fine because we're not producing 9 of the improved organic matter at a time. We're only producing 3 at a time, so we're never going to use the full 9 anyway. Let's put 1 in here, and let's put the other one in over here. Now, the only trouble with this is that we actually do need to get power over to these guys. They do require redstone flux. It's not going to be a huge problem. It's just going to be a bunch of energy cable, which is a little expensive because the energy pipe requires copper, right? Which again is not a huge deal. You get 8 at a time, and we do have quite a lot of copper now because we were making so much of the poor organic matter initially. That's fine. Let's go ahead and disconnect this here, and then let's run new item pipes for the skulking matter and for the poor matter, and run those down around into their respective sieves. Okay, so both of these are hooked up, and even though it's going to be janky as all heck, I think we're going to go ahead and see about getting a bunch of energy pipe and then just running it under the sea. It would be even jankier if we ran it over the surface, but we've got a ton of copper now. Again, that poor organic matter is coming in so fast. I think we'll just run an energy pipe from here. We'll just go down, let's say right about here, around and over to the 2 auto sieves. We'll have the pipes, I guess, come in up probably at the back, like this. All right, so our energy pipe is down. It's rather long, and I did decide to swap the sides that we insert power to, and I also did decide to put my swimsuit on to make it a little easier to put that pipe down. But essentially, I've moved the pipe because we do have to have, much like with the hammers, we have to have an output pipe for the sieve. So we need to grab one of the hammers from ex nihilo. We need to shift right click to set the output side for the sieve, like this, and then we need to put down chests next to the sieve because the sieve itself doesn't have an internal inventory for what it actually produces. So we need to put the chests down like this, and then we want to be able to extract from those chests for whatever processing we're going to have here for turning all of the pieces into raw metals, and then all the raw metals into ingots. But in theory, we should be getting power, I think, unless I've missed a connection. All right, so this looks like it is working as intended. We are sifting the poor organic matter, albeit fairly slowly, but we are sifting it with the flux sieve here. The same would be true on this side if we had this here set to output, and if we had more of the shards in nugget form. So again, this is something we are going to have to automate sooner rather than later, getting these sent back around. That can probably be done via the controller that we set up in the last stream. I'm not sure, but I would hazard a guess that we might be able to use a compacting drawer. If we store the shards in a compacting drawer, I think it's possible that we might just be able to access the nuggets from there, potentially. We'll find out, I guess. For now, though, real quick, the last thing I want to do in today's stream is I do want to see if we can get a couple of gold upgrades and see how much of an effect that has on the speed of this system. So in order to make this, and we want to make 3 to get the maximum speed here, we need some cyan terracotta, which does require cyan dye, which we can make from apatite, which we have been getting as a byproduct of smelting tin. So raw tin has a 25% chance of getting apatite. So boom, there is our cyan dye. And then boom, we just need a bunch more terracotta. Again, not going to be a problem. Clay is super easy for us to make now. So let's take those and quickly smelt that up. While we wait for that to smelt up, we do have even more crucibles in here that we probably don't need just yet, but it looks like we might in fact need some more lava sooner rather than later, surprisingly. But while we wait for those, let's see about the green dye. I believe we do have some cactus. We do, and I'm fairly certain, can we grow this in the botany pot just like we have been with the sugarcane? I would assume the answer is yes, and much like with the sugarcane, I would furthermore assume that we can even use bone meal to accelerate it. So if we put the botany pot here, put the sand in like so, put the cactus in, and then grab some of the bone meal from the system, we can then go ahead and bone meal this to be nice and big, and just keep doing that until we have not even that much cactus. As soon as we have 2 cactus, we're going to be good to go. I am going to lock that drawer there, but as soon as we have 2 cactus, we can then smelt that up into green dye, and that's going to be everything we need to get. Actually, I need 3 cactus, Isaac, not 2 cactus, so we'll do that one more time. There we go. We'll smelt up the 3rd cactus, and that's going to get us everything we need for the 3 gold upgrades here. So boom, cyan terracotta, and boom, that should be, I think, everything. For 1 gold upgrade, we do need some more glass here. That is fine. Even with the 1 upgrade, this takes it up to items processed per cycle goes up from 1 to 2. So currently, over in here, whenever this bar fills up, once every 8 seconds, which is 160 ticks, it takes 1 poor organic matter and sifts it. If we put just the 1 upgrade in, the power goes up to 16 RF per tick. The number of items processed, though, doubles to 2 per cycle. So now when this gets full up, it still takes 8 seconds, but it does 2 instead of 1. So we're effectively sifting 1 every 4 seconds as opposed to 1 every 8 seconds. If we go and get some more glass here, we can go ahead and craft up our 2nd gold upgrade. That's going to take us from 2 to 4, so that's going to be us doing 4 blocks every 8 seconds, which is essentially 1 every 2 seconds. And then if we can get enough glass to do the final upgrade here, that's going to take us to 3 upgrades. That's going to do 8 items every 8 seconds, effectively 1 every second, which might be too fast, potentially. Simply due to the fact that earlier, before this was full up, we were kind of struggling to get enough power from lava because all of the lava was being used making the poor organic matter. And so 8 per second might be a bit much because it means we're going to need a lot more lava to fill up these barrels, which means we might start to see the power dip in here potentially, which means despite the fact that we have just upgraded our lava production in here, we might actually need even more lava production to keep this going. Thankfully, that's not really going to be a problem. We could make a 2nd level and potentially even a 3rd if we're, clever about it in here to get even more lava being made. When I say a second and a third, we could just like set a second one up like this, but we could also potentially embed the next layer like this, then have the crucibles on top of that, and then try and set it up in such a compact way that we get potentially 3 levels of lava production out of here. But we'll see how it goes. Next time, we'll come back and we'll look at adding the finishing touches to this setup. We'll look at getting all of our ingots smelted and imported, and we'll look at starting on the Electrum Age questline. That's this one here. We'll get our first machine frame. We'll set up some arboreal extractors to make some latex. This is a process that's going to take a little while, so I think we're going to set this up, let it start backing up on latex so that we can make the cured rubber, which is what's going to allow us to get more power going forward. And while we're waiting for that latex to back up, we can look at processing our resources into their final ingot form and getting all of the finishing touches on the actual resource production here, such as getting the echo shards crafted down to nuggets and sent back around into their respective drawers. But for now, guys, that is all we have time for this episode of Seaopolis.